up to question, Jared. I'll voice your opinion. Let them know how you feel. One moment.
That was great purple. Hi, Bob. Good day.
Watch the cables, guys. Watch the cables.
Yeah, I'm watching them. I'm watching them. I have a chill business. I know what.
Are
you Daniel?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Barbara.
Oh, hey, Barbara.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that right now. Picture signs, just ones that don't have pictures on them. We have a bag of signs. There's the other bag of signs. We have another bag of signs.
You guys are all set?
Oh, okay.
All right, so we'll start showing.
Oh, okay. Bag of signs.
Chris, bird scooter right there. Right there, bird scooter for the Queens.
Oh, shit.
I already interviewed.
Good bird. Bird scooter. All right, cool. All right, so we go back here. Let me go here. What's up, Bob?
Yeah, no picture signs though. They go back in the bag. They're written signs. There's a picture on it. It goes back in the bag. If we take this and not show the picture, it's okay. Exactly. So we're not holding on pictures except Priscilla. So if you have a picture on the back, it's okay. Just don't show the picture. We're not doing that anymore.
Everyone ready?
You just give me just a half an inch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the signs you can hand out.
Everyone ready? Are you ready?
Media's ready?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Councilmember Robert Holden, and I'm here with the E-Vehicle Safety Alliance. These are people who either been struck or almost struck by e-vehicles, meaning mostly e-bikes and e-scooters. Finally, the day has come that Intro 606, my bill to license and register e-bikes and e-vehicles, is having a hearing. It's only been 2 years. 2 years of mayhem, 2 years of lawlessness on our streets, 2 years of people getting struck by e-vehicles with no accountability.
No accountability.
None whatsoever, meaning most of the e-bikes that hit people take off. And we don't know who hit us, we have no idea. Many people standing behind me have been victims. Priscilla Lowe, 1 year ago, a little over a year ago, was struck and killed in September of last year. And that didn't move the needle to have a hearing on this bill. Can you believe that? She lost her life. Somebody who contributed to her neighborhood. This is disgraceful. The fact that we can't walk the streets of this city without worrying about an e-bike or an e-vehicle hitting us. You can't cross the street without worrying. The most dangerous place to be in New York City is in a crosswalk, folks. That's bad. That's bad. So we heard no. Transportation Alternatives, by the way, has been doing everything they can to defeat this bill. Picking off council members who dropped off my bill because they're in the pockets of Transportation Alternatives. That's a disgrace. If your alliance is to a special interest group that doesn't care about safety, then you shouldn't be a council member. And I want to bring up Janet Schroeder, the founder of the E-Vehicle Safety Alliance, who has, right here, who has worked tirelessly along with a lot of other people here. And by the way, let me just mention 606. 31 co-sponsors. 31 out of 51 have signed on to this bill, the majority of the city council, and yet we only get the hearing 2 years later. Janet Schroeder.
Thank you.
Hey,
Bravo. everybody. It's a great day, and today's about accountability. Priscilla Loke was killed. There's never any accountability. Riders flee 90% of the time, but e-bike riders are getting killed too. And we know that changing behavior, this is Marion who was hit by an e-biker. Changing behavior is what will change the riding, and accountability is the answer to that. If they're held accountable through having a license plate, they will change their riding behavior. That will save e-bikers. 23 e-bikers were killed last year too. An e-city bike killed Priscilla Loke, and this is Priscilla's Law, named in honor of her and all of the victims that have been injured, killed, maimed by e-city bikes. Again, there is no accountability. They're riding on sidewalks, running through red lights. People are afraid to walk on sidewalks. People that are already isolated, like elderly and disabled people, feel more isolated now than ever. Like they can't go to the park. They can't walk outside their house for fear of being hit. This isn't New York. This isn't the New York we want. So we must vote for accountability. We must vote for Priscilla's Law 606. Thank you so much, Bob Holden, for writing it. This will make the streets safer for everybody. We have 200 cyclists in our group. 200 cyclists. We have 98 victims in our group, 22 skull fractures, 11 brain bleeds, 4 broken hips. It's a very small percentage of what's really going on. There are tens of thousands of injuries, but they are not tracked because most of them aren't written up. Like Bob said, the rider flees most of the time, the cop doesn't write it up at all. So the accountability will be in having a license plate that will catch riders that flee on camera. It's not about police officers. It's not about them running out for e-bikes. It's about putting license plates that are visible on these e-vehicles so that just like cars with red light cameras, they will be identifiable and get their warning or get their ticket. Isn't that fair? Yes! And you know what? We are the majority. Regardless of what special interest bike lobby says, we are the majority of New Yorkers, and we vote, don't we? Yes! So thank you for being here, Priscilla's Law. Oh, and now is anybody here? Okay, I didn't see you, Suckling Lai. Come on up. Suckling Lai is a dear, dear friend of Priscilla. Did you want to just say? Do you want to speak? Yeah, no, I spoke. Yeah. You want to speak? While she's pulling this up, just wanted to say that. Oh, you're ready. She's ready. Sorry.
Good morning, and thank you for coming out in this such weather to support Priscilla's Law. My name is Suckling Lai. I just retired this year from Manhattan's Chinatown Textile, where I was the executive director for 41 years. Starting, Peggy, are you here?
Peggy?
Peggy, are you here?
Not yet.
Okay. Chinatown Textile helps children from ages 3 to 5 learn and develop self-help skills to speak English, socialization, cognitive and physical development. In addition, we also assist to the family when needed. Priscilla was one of my long-time dedicated staff. She was there for 41 years. Today, Today I speak on behalf of Priscilla Loke's family, friends, Chinatown Textile Advisory Board, and staff members. We support Priscilla's Law that requires license plates and registrations for all e-bikes. Priscilla must not be forgotten. She was a naturalized U.S. citizen with a college degree. Her immediate family lives in Malaysia. Her elder sister, Wendy
Just some technical issues here.
Yeah. Ying, which is Priscilla's Chinese first name. You have made such a long sacrifice, a big one, to have this bill passed, so that future e-bikes will take extra precaution on the road. To prevent similar to prevent similar accidents from happening. We all miss you and you always remain so deeply in our hearts. We cherish all the happy moments we have with you. We are sure you are now family with all the finally about love and you.
Next is the co-founder of New York City Vehicle Safety Alliance, Pamela Manasseh, our original victim.
Yeah. So thank you all for being here. And so 2.5 years ago, I was struck by an e-vehicle coming off a sidewalk and into a crosswalk where I was crossing legally. The sad part of my story is that I'm permanently paralyzed on my right side, little use of my right arm and leg, basically. I struggle to do everyday tasks. This was caused by egregious behavior by an e-vehicle. And that's when Janet found me. She read my story in the rag. Can you believe that was 2.5 years ago? And now we finally, thankfully, have a hearing for this very important law, Priscilla's law. And there was no accountability for my assailant at the time, and my husband and I tried desperately. So it's really, this is, to say this is a relief that this is happening now finally is an understatement. This is starting with, actually, I don't know if you all remember, but Lisa Baines, an actress, was the first to be killed by this kind of egregious behavior. That was 4 years ago. And now, you know, it took many, many more deaths and many, many more injuries, such as my own, that brings us here today. We don't understand why Ydanis Rodriguez and the Transportation Department does not oversee this kind of behavior. And they continue to allow it to take place. We have watched it grow and grow over the last 2.5 years since my family was affected and I'm affected by this horrible, egregious non-accountability, bad behavior from everybody. Especially, I want to mention people riding city bikes. It's not just the deliveristas.
Absolutely no.
We're tired of being, you know, pinpointed for targeting that group of individuals who we have only their best interest for too.
Exactly.
So I just thank you for supporting Priscilla's law. And thank you, Bob Holden.
Andrew Fine, he's about the member of the New York City Vehicle Safety Alliance. We'll wrap it up.
Hi everybody, Andrew Fine, E-Vehicle Safety Alliance. First and foremost, I want to point out that this is a justice issue. 94 of our 98 victims were hit and run. It's patently unfair that victims should be stuck with the consequence and the riders that cause the grievous injuries and death have no consequence whatsoever. Do we want justice? Yes! Right. Thank you. I want to thank Bob Holden, the guy who should be mayor. He's going to say heck no, but it's all right. And Janet is the most tireless, hardest working, grassroots activist. And this is This is grassroots. There's not one person behind me, except for Bob, who's paid.
Unfunded.
Nobody. And our competition, which claims to be a safety organization, somehow has a problem with simple accountability. You'll make every excuse in the book. And at the end of the day, I say, follow the money. Because
Follow the money.
It's
Follow the money.
Follow the money. You can't claim to be an honest broker on street safety while simultaneously taking money from DoorDash, Lyft City Bike, Uber, Lime. You gotta wonder, does that influence their thinking? Absolutely it does, and it pays their paychecks. So at the end of the day, all we're looking for is accountability and justice for our victims who feel they deserve it. And we thank everybody for coming out and taking their time today to make this point and to take government back from the special interest and make it for the people again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
We
it back.
are the majority. We are the majority.
We are the majority. We are the majority. We are the majority. We are the majority. We are the majority. And speaking of the mayor, this group and Transportation Alternatives met with the mayor. Was it 2 months ago?
Yeah.
About 2 months ago. And the mayor said he supports my bill. So we're going to hold him to it. We're going to see what Ydanis Rodriguez, the commissioner of the Department of Transportation, says at today's hearing. If he wavers, we're going to be all, because that's not the right thing to do. That's not really for a safer New York City. I want to bring up Vicky Palladino, the council member from Queens, who's a supporter. She's on the bill, and I want to thank her for her efforts. And she's all over the media, by the way. Vicky Palladino.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm Vicky Palladino. I represent District 19, which is in Northeast Queens. Let me be very, very clear here. Crystal clear. Bob Holden introduced this bill in 2022. We are now standing here. It's 2024. My question is this. What has taken so long for common sense to step in and rule the day? Why did we need to wait 2 years to understand that these scooters, these bikes, and these motorized, whatever, they motorize anything that's got 2 wheels. Okay, one wheel. Okay, so I want to know what has taken so long for common sense to step in to have them licensed, registered, and insured. Because they are driving a motorized vehicle, just like anybody drives a car. But we got to understand they want to be treated. You know, we got all these pro bike lane people. We got all these pro motorized scooter people, these city bike people, bike lane people, okay, that want to take over our roads. Well, now you know what? You're going to get that. You've gotten it. You've gotten your roadways. You've gotten your bike lanes. Now be responsible. And to be responsible, you must register, and you must insure, and you must be held responsible. And how about this? Congestion pricing. If you're going 30 miles an hour, maybe you should be subject, those who want to ride these things, maybe they should be subject to congestion pricing as well. Let's shoot home one more time. And the bike lanes, any ideas you got about coming to my district, forget it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Accountability now. Is that Sophie right Accountability now. Is that Sophie? Accountability now. Hey, Sophie. Accountability now. Accountability now.
Accountability now. All right. We're going to take questions from the press only.
Yeah, so Bob, Chris Johnson here. So how you feel about street blogs making articles claiming that this bill is racist? This bill is going to bring back stop and frisk?
When you have nothing to back it up, because we haven't heard any solutions from Streets Blog or Transportation Alternatives. Did you hear of a solution to this?
No,
Other than
no.
don't put license plates on us because we don't want any accountability. We want to just be able to run red lights and hit people and leave. That's what they want.
Hey, just a second. What'd you just say? Racist?
Yeah, they said the bill's racist. Like Sophie,
Come on,
right there.
Stop. You know what? Enough with that
No,
word.
he didn't say it.
Sophie said it. Sophie said it. Sophie's. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Natalie?
Well, anybody else from the press? That man's right. You know, by calling something racist, like is a traffic light racist? You know, is a stop sign? You know, a one-way street's racist. You know, this is the absurdity of transportation alternatives and their counterparts, Streets Blog, which is they're not based in reality. So this bill is common sense. Most New Yorkers, I would say 90% of New Yorkers want this bill. The only people that don't want this are the people that are riding the e-bikes and the e-scooters. And the people making money from them, like Lyft and all the other characters. But, yeah.
20% of transportation alternatives are white folks.
Have you spoken with DOT at all about the implementation of this type of registration system? Because I know they don't have a system to do this currently.
They don't what?
They don't have a system currently to like.
They have a system for registering trucks. You know about that? They put license plates on the side of trucks. The business integrity unit. No, but listen. This will be determined as to how they're going to do it, what the fee will. People ask me what the fee is. I don't care if it's $10 a year. I don't care about that. I care about identity, identifying them for the victims. For the victims that are hit every single day, thousands of times a day. By the way, all the reports, 29,000 strikes, you know, we've heard in the last few years, we don't know the number because the police many times will say, we don't know, you don't have an, you know, you can't describe this guy, so that hit you, so we have nothing to go on. We won't take the report, the police is saying. But with a license plate, we can identify them. I spoke to City Bike, by the way, a year ago almost, when the bill, you know, was well on its way. I said, why not put a license plate on the City Bike, e-bike? And you know what they told me? We already have a number on the frame. And the number is like 8 inches long, and it's about 14-point height. You have to go right up to it to see it. That's the absurdity of anybody's stance. City Bike, transportation alternatives, and Streets Blog. They don't want to solve it.
And open plans.
Let any reporter tell me what solutions have you heard from the other side. I haven't heard anything. DOT has not weighed in. You know, they're waiting for this. We'll see how, you know, in an hour or so we'll find out their stance. But I don't know their stance. And again, Udanis Rodriguez was one of the culprits responsible for legalizing these e-vehicles in New York City without the safety measures. And he's been asleep at the wheel. He's been asleep. He rides around in his big SUV with a detail and a driver, and then he tells us, get out of our cars. This is the mentality, the hypocrites that we're dealing with. I'm sorry?
Could you talk about enforcement? Would it require more NYPD? What does that look like?
No, like I said, I'm not looking for NYPD to be the main enforcer on this, although they are. Like anything, like any license plate. If a car runs a red light, I hope they get them.
Right.
But we are looking to technology. I met with technology companies that can put them. We have bike lanes right past City Hall. There's no red light camera for them. There should be. Even if there were now, we couldn't identify them because there's no plate on it. Why would you be against a license plate? I don't care what it costs, $10, because you want to continue to run red lights. That's why. Anybody else?
Any?
Bikes aren't bicycles. They weigh
Wait.
70
One more question?
They break so slowly. They're
Huh?
motorless.
Hey, now or no?
Still get everybody in.
All right, I got you.
An e-bike person on it's not a rider. Again, he's really an operator. He's operating an e-vehicle. All right, so he's a driver.
Are you concerned about the
Isn't he a driver?
Of course. Of course. You want the cost.
I'm asking you, are you concerned about the cost cost of
No.
What's it cost to Priscilla Lowe? What's her life worth to you? Anybody asking about a price on this, it could be $10, like I said. I
No,
don't
I
care.
mean the cost to the city to create a licensing program.
That's up to, how am I gonna figure that out?
Maybe the next mayor can figure that out, Sophie. Maybe the next mayor, Curtis Sliwa. How about that?
You're worried about setting up an agency? Is that what I heard you say?
I'm asking if you're worried or concerned about the cost of setting up.
Not at all. The way we have.
I have no problem with the cost. We can just replace the cameras.
Another area in motor vehicles.
We're going inside. We're gonna go inside. Any other questions from the press? Any other questions from the press? Thank you so much. We're gonna go for a hearing at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. All right, cool.